Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Stott, I'm the Emperor of Stomaria, and today we're continuing our series on how to start a micronation by discussing micronational organizations. So, micronational organizations, where to start? Micronational organizations, there are a lot of them. In fact, there are so many micronational organizations that the term YAMO, yet another micronational organization, has long been coined in the micronational community and is typically uttered whenever someone, typically someone that's quite new to the community, announces this grand new idea, this grand new plan. They've never heard it before. But what they're going to do is they're going to set up a micronational organization that's like the United Nations, but for micronations. And then they expect everyone to go, gasp. Why didn't we think of that before? It really is one of the most tedious and tiresome aspects of the micronational community, is hearing about another micronational organization that someone has thought up. And it's really funny because so many micronational organizations have been formed and then quickly been made defunct that they're running out of words to describe this micronational organization as. So they come up with these really weird names. I mean, you have like Federation of Pangaea or the Unified Micronational Active. It's really, they can't string enough words together to come up with a name for these organizations because there's been so many organizations. And I think that's the crux of the issue, is that there are just so many of them, and they all have a pretty common feature, which is they're completely pointless. They really are just worthless. There are a few micronational organizations out there. Struggle to think of the names of them myself now, but I suppose the GUM, the Grand Unified Micronational, is probably one of the best known micronational organizations. But even then, I mean, what does it do? I mean, as far as I'm aware, it's a chat room. It's micronations discussing things, which is fine, but it's not, you don't need a micronational organization for that. You can just discuss things with other micronations. The Grand Unified Micronational, if I remember correctly, has itself gone through a very, turbulent history. It's probably the longest lasting one, but it has, had periods of where it was defunct and micronations split off and formed a different micronational organization because I don't remember the reasons for, because it's not the least bit relevant to me and to Stomaria. But needless to say, I am not a fan of micronational organizations because they don't do anything, because they don't strive to do anything, because they all utter the same stuff. They all strive for peace and unity and cooperation, but not in a meaningful way. Face-to-face meetings are a rarity at the best of times, and even when those meetings do take place, it's probably a handful of the people involved in that micronational organization out of the hundreds of members that they claim. Another big issue with micronational organizations is that if you did join a micronational organization, you are effectively associating with micronations that you might not have heard of, and you might find the values or the objectives abhorrent. I mean, if you're dead set against fascistic or communist micronations, they might be involved in a micronational organization that you become a part of. And the best case scenario is that you join a micronational organization, you realize that there are some unscrupulous and rather unpleasant individuals involved, and so you leave. And how does that look? I mean, it really is the typical sort of process is that a micronation will join a micronational organization, realize it's not quite what they signed up for, and then they'll leave that micronational organization, either to set up their own micronational organization or to declare some sort of war or hostilities or embargo against the micronational organization that they've just left. Again, I just have such a very low opinion of them. If you want to form a meaningful real world alliance, or build a real world friendship with individual micronations that add value to your own micronation, then that's great. That's something that we strive to do. That's something we are doing ourselves. But to just get lumbered in with dozens and dozens and dozens of micronations who may already be defunct by the time you join, it is a complete waste of time. So, I mean, it's a bit of a short video, a bit of a rambling rant, I suppose, about the follies of micronational organizations. I'm sure other people will have different takes on this, but I mean, my mind is pretty much made up on when it comes to micronational organizations, the value they add, and their purpose. I mean, like I said, they're not worth the paper they're written on. They don't do anything meaningful. They don't strive to do anything meaningful. And what normally happens is that they just end up being little private members clubs who pass judgment on other micronations as whether or not they can join that club, but that club just doesn't do anything. So yeah, short video, but there's not much to say about it, frankly. So if you like this video, if you got some value out of it, then please feel free to give the video a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll catch you in the next one.